She didn't whisper it. She said it clearly. You're the safe option. We were sitting at dinner with her friends. The conversation had shifted to relationships, past experiences, wild stories from college. Someone joked, "So, he was your type?" She laughed. "No," she said casually. "He wasn't my type. He was the safe option." The table laughed. I didn't, because I realized something in that moment. Safe? On the drive home, I asked calmly, "What did you mean by safe option?" She sighed. "You know, stable, responsible, not risky like the guys I used to date." I nodded. "So I'm the backup plan?" She rolled her eye. "Why are you making it dramatic? It was a joke." But jokes reveal truths people are too comfortable to say direct. I didn't argue. I didn't raise my voice. I just absorbed it. Because when someone shows you how they see you, you don't argue. You adjust. Once you hear something like that, you start noticing patterns. The comparison. Mark just started his own business. Sarah's husband surprised her with a trip to Italy. I used to date guys who were more spontaneous. Used to. That word stayed in my head. Used to. Like I was a downgrade she settled for. And suddenly, every small comment felt heavy. I wasn't her first choice. I was her safest one. Something changed after that. Not loudly, quietly. Stopped trying to impress her. Stopped over-explaining my plan. Stopped seeking approval. I started focusing on myself. Gym again. Extra hours at work. Networking events. Old friends I hadn't seen in years. Not to prove her wrong, but to remind myself who I was before I started trying to be enough for someone who saw me as second place. She noticed. "You're different," she said one night. "I'm just safe," I replied calmly. She didn't laugh. The funny thing about calling someone safe is that when they stop being available, it feels unsafe. She started asking where I was going, who I was meeting, why I'm working late. The same behavior she used to call ambition in other men suddenly made her uncomfortable. "You're acting distant," she said. "I'm just focused," I replied. She didn't like that answer. Because stability is only comforting when it stays predictable, and I had stopped being predictable. A few weeks later, we were invited to another dinner with her friend. This time, the energy felt different. When someone joked about us, she quickly said, "He's actually been doing really well lately." I smiled slightly. Safe. That word wasn't used anymore. Instead, she looked at me differently. Not amused, not superior, just uncertain. After dinner, in the car, she said quietly, "You've changed." I looked at her. "No," I replied. "You just noted." That night, she finally asked the real question. "Are you trying to replace me?" I almost laughed. "You thought I couldn't?" Silent. Because deep down, she had always believed I wouldn't. That safe meant permanent. That predictable meant powerless. But safety doesn't mean weakness. And calm doesn't mean blind. I never meant it like she said softly. "But you did," I replied. A month later, I handed her the papers. Not out of anger, out of clarity. She stared at them like they were a foreign language. "You're throwing this away?" I shook my head calm. "No, I'm walking away from being second choice." She cried. Said she loved me. Said she was scared. Said she didn't think I'd ever leave. That was the problem. She didn't think I would. Because safe men don't leave. They holler. They absorb. They stay. But sometimes the safest move a man can make is leaving quietly. When she called me the safe option, she thought it was a compliment, but it was a revelation. And I don't compete for first place in someone's life. I either am or gone. Sometimes the most powerful shift in a relationship happens when the safe option stops being available.